to buy a tape, this particular tape, and then distribute it, because that's what he said. She's been distributing it to pedophiles for a price, and ain't nobody said nothing in all these years. As much hate as Oprah get, you think they wouldn't have put that out here somewhere? Man, I got this from Oprah. Somebody would have been put her on blast because of the stuff she owned. They didn't, simply for the fact because they want to own what she owned, they did put her on blast. So that don't even, just from a business standpoint, that don't make sense. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Steve, let me bring you in. Same thing. What are your thoughts on this, and do you agree with Dr. Umar?
Well, first of all, I love Dr. Umar. Sometimes he can be a little bit too woke. But Dr. Umar, first of all, I'm gonna say this: your outfit is terrible. I've seen you wear better. That outfit, them Chinese folks fooled you on that band. That outfit, shirt, hat combo is awful. But listen,
I pity the fool.
That outfit is awful. But you know what, man? He is right. I feel like people are trying to get rid of a lot of our high-profile Black celebrities. I really believe that. With this thing with Diddy, there's a lot of evidence against him, but this Oprah thing is really, really kind of far-fetched. $75 million, to get the Baby Oil Chronicles. She handed them out. You get the Chronicles. You get the Chronicles. I don't see that. And by the way, Oprah, I think she was. Why would she be in on something like that? That's kind of far-fetched. So I'm not buying that. But I do agree with Dr. Umar. And
Yeah, and Steve, he's specifically talking about YouTubers. Typically these are people who don't have credible sources. Typically, I know here, because we are based on YouTube, we always try to dig deep. Where did this come from? Who said this? Who said that? Do you think there needs to be a real penalty? Because I don't think there's a real penalty other than you saw Piers Morgan, who got a cease and desist. But, it's like, oh, you apologize and you take it down. Do you think there needs to be a more crucial penalty for people who are spreading?
Recently, there have been some surprising headlines making waves. Oprah Winfrey, the beloved daytime TV icon, is reportedly being investigated by the FBI after tapes featuring her close associate, Shad Diddy, were leaked. On top of that, there are rumors suggesting Oprah may be trying to leave the country.
Consumer, nigga, you feel me? Like, I don't consume. Right. I'm not just a scroll. I'm not on Instagram just straight scroll. Like, man, come on, bro. Yeah, I'm trying to be.
So when you think about the NFL, Jay-Z, and then like the NFL is supposed to be wrong with working with the young Black youth, what's your take on that? Do you think that there could be more done that's been influential in that area? And then talk to me about what you think about Lil Wayne.
What you mean by the NFL and Jay-Z?
So that initiative came after all the police shootings and stuff like that. He stepped in, and then you had to kneel and stuff like that. So you're a young Black man that grew up. Probably you got people grew up in the project. You're a young Black man that kind of grew up maybe a little bit better, but probably going through the same situations of being a young Black man.
If I'm not going through it, I'm seeing it. Like.
So speak on that.
Family, I'm seeing it, but like, I don't know if it's a foundation that's going on with the NFL. Like, bro, there could always be something more done, bro. That's the NFL, bro. They choose to spend money on what they choose to spend money on. Like, there could always be something more done. It's just what they want to do. Like, my opinion is, like, man, move crazy about that shit. But I'm a young Black man, like you said. Like,
you might be thinking, Oprah? The Oprah? Yes, it's the same Oprah who's built an empire over the years, known for her message of empowerment, charity, and justice. It's hard to believe, but sometimes the truth can be more unexpected than we imagine. Let's take a closer look at what's really going on with these surprising claims.
I think it needs to be a harsh penalty because, people are doing any and everything to be relevant, even at the expense of others' reputations and livelihoods. And that's just not fair. You can really damage someone financially. You can even drive them to suicide because the world is an evil place now. So I feel like if you do something like that, I feel like harsh consequences should take place. I really believe that.
Lab, let me get your thoughts on that, because I know we've even had conversations when you've been in studio where, you know, people are on your social media saying things and, you know, they see one thing and they run with it. What are your thoughts? Do you think there needs to be a real penalty for people that spread misinformation?
100%, especially when you say and spread things that potentially could damage people's brand. Because the thing about the internet is, once it's out there, it's out there. And there's no way of pulling it back now. You know, back in the days, a newspaper could retract the story and you never saw or heard that story again. But once somebody posts something on the internet, y'all know, like we know, people screenshot it, other people repost it. And so it will live on forever. And then, like some Steve said, like the mental piece of it. Justin Bieber had a whole mental breakdown.
Several.
About how the industry was treating him and all this stuff right here. Can you imagine if these tapes truly exist? These people don't see it, and that's the problem. These people don't care about none of that. They just want clout. Want to post it. They just want to get the clicks and the views, and they don't care about the fallout and the ramifications for this. So I think, hell yeah, there should be stiff penalties. Like if this tape is released and they can prove who released this tape, they need to go to jail. And Justin Bieber does something to himself, I think they need to go to jail for that.
Held accountable. You know, and I want to add this too, Symphony. I also found out that when they found that baby oil and stuff, I think Smart Ass University shirt was found as well. I just wanted to put that out there.
You know what?
But it was a chick wearing the Smart Ass University shirt, so we okay with that. She was doing a little Winnie the Pooh type action, so we good.
Lab, let me ask you this, because Lab, like I said, we've had those conversations in studio where, and what I really love and appreciate, like you always do your research. Every time we talk about a topic, you're like, hey, that's cool, that's an opinion, that's something that you heard from another celebrity or another source, but it's not credit, and you're always going to find that source. I think information like this can be so detrimental to our community, right? Because you have older people.
Oprah has been a household name for years. She didn't get to be a cultural icon by playing it safe. She made bold moves. Building her empire on her own terms, Oprah became one of the wealthiest and most influential women worldwide, a go-to figure for topics like empowerment, justice, and success. But here's the twist. Even the brightest stars in Hollywood aren't immune to controversy.
He had sued the liquor company. I forget the name. It was a hard name for me to pronounce, but he pretty much won the lawsuit. But you know, it was explained that in these lawsuits, there's a morality clause. Do you think that his battle against this liquor company could have been what set this off actually, or was this only inevitable?
Well, you gotta look at it. We all thought he owned Ciroc.
For sure.
Yeah. He felt like eventually he would be able to get some ownership stake. He didn't. And these issues really started for him once he went after them. Because shortly thereafter, he sold Revolt TV. And anybody who follows him, Revolt TV was his baby. He worked hard on that.
Facts.
So once that was sold, I knew the end was near at that point. Because, you know, just like Gucci Mane when he went to jail, he passed his artist contracts off to people who can hold them and fulfill the details while he was gone. That's what they do. They pass it off to people who can put it in a shell corporation. Because you can have a corporation that have an anonymous owner. So once I seen Revolt get sold, I knew the end. I knew there was going to be a tumultuous path for him for sure.
Did you feel like it was Diddy's, or do you feel like he was careless towards leading up to this? Like, just I know you had mentioned him, just the way he's moving. You know, he's even him coming to New York, lollipops. Do you feel like he was moving like very careless, to where like that's why you don't have a bond? That's why, you know, you weren't strategic enough in this whole thing.
Absolutely, because the agreement was that as long as his private jet wasn't in the same state as him, he would be able to stay on the street. The moment that jet came in New York, he got arrested. And then you got to think about it, like, they got him on audio calling witnesses, trying to get them to change the story. That's extremely careless.
Yes.
It's almost as if he was used to having someone protecting him.
They say he's snitching on Jay-Z. Is that a real thing?
You don't want to say Jay-Z on here, bro. Out of respect to y'all, you don't want to say his name on here.
So that's good.
For sure.
All right, so we're gonna.
Oprah's relationships with high-profile figures like Diddy, Harvey Weinstein, and other Hollywood big names have definitely sparked curiosity. We've all heard the rumors, the ones that suggest Hollywood hides more than just its glamorous image behind those shiny red carpets. Now, with the leaked tapes and Oprah's sudden disappearance, things are getting even more dramatic.
He posted a video of his upcoming Halloween party featuring Chris Brown. It looks like it's going to be crazy. You had made mention about Jamie Foxx, or he had made mention himself in a special talking about his almost losing his life. And his hospitalization was due to Diddy. There are stories of him getting beat up and getting put, but I know he was on a movie set, but something from an altercation or something from drug related that was given to him.
Diddy will pull up and get wild with you by himself. Like he's not soft. So that's the whole thing with him. Like,
He'd pull up and take something like it.
Bro, he'll pull up and, bro, he slapped Drake.
He did, and everyone looked over that.
Oh, I'm not gonna call him a gangster. But he be on some tough shit, bro. And it'll piss you off. Like with his son with the lip gloss on and the waves all the time.
Yeah.
He swear he a gangster, bro. I've been like, bro, we'll get crazy with you in here.
I mean, anyone who probably do a lot of cocaine will feel all kind of invincible. Will feel all kind of courageous.
With money?
With money, I believe they'll do a lot outside of normal man, who's rational. and just say, let me post up. But let me get your take on with Jamie Foxx, because mind you, Diddy parties and Jamie Foxx parties were the two black Hollywood elite parties that you would always hear about. That was like, you gotta be there to see it. For him to say that I was hospitalized possibly because of something that happened with Diddy.
He thought he was gonna tell.
Ooh.
So look, I'm a shout out Big Duga, my right hand man. Shout out folks. He have a very interesting Jamie Foxx story. I don't know if you know about this or seen it.
No.
Give us a Cliff Notes.
I'm gonna let him come on here and tell that, but I'll say this though.
I know he said something about Jamie Foxx in a bathroom.
It wasn't Jamie Foxx in the bathroom, it was his party.
Okay, it was his party, and then the bathroom situation went down.
It definitely makes you question things, doesn't it? Oprah, a woman known for her advocacy of justice, empowerment, and truth, is now facing serious allegations. What adds to the mystery is the timing. Diddy's FBI investigation is heating up, and there are rumors Oprah might be planning to leave the country. What's really going on? Could this all be a coincidence, or is there something much deeper happening behind the scenes?
Yeah, bro. Like, me and him been outside together 15 years, but that's small. He the reason I'm alive right now. You feel me? Like, he don't really care about money like that. Like, he don't really care about a lot of them. As long as he got his jewelry, he got his cup, he got his gun, and we doing our thing, he cool.
Yeah, that's all you need in life.
So, whenever I know I got a situation coming up and, the risk of dying is high, Duga gonna make sure he there. That's what he like to do.
Right.
But anywhere I take my boy, I have to give him certain guidelines. On this particular day, I say, bro, I don't know what we're gonna see in here, but we get $2,500 a piece to keep these two models right here safe at this event. Don't get out of my eyesight. He said, Gordo, that's my nickname, Gordo. I said, Gordo, I love you, but I gotta go to the bathroom. I said, okay, bro, the bathroom over there, I think. So I'm over here dealing with them. About 30 seconds ago, I hear, Everybody get on the ground. So now here I go. I gotta say, y'all stay right there. I come over here. 5 dudes in the bathroom. Everybody pants at their ankles. One dude didn't even have no pants on at all. He even had no socks on. He getting extra crazy. I'm like, dude, what you just see? He say, bro. Sword fighting in here. Hey, we gotta go. I'm looking like, damn. Shout out Big Duga.
Shout out Big Duga.
Yeah.
Shout out Big Duga. Damn.
That's the thing, bro. Like, bro, these, bro.
So, let's do it like this. Let me ask you.
Niggas would get mad at me. I wouldn't plug them with celebrities. And I say, look, bro, you don't know what you asking for. And when I see certain guys, I say, yeah, you definitely getting your cake stood. Because you too thirsty to go be up here. 5 in the morning? You want to be in the studio with all dudes? Everybody on ecstasy and cocaine? They sipping liquor? There's no females here? You the females, my boy.
Shit.
You the female. Oh no.
Now, Chris Columbus had a story that he told where he was laying down with his wife and he got a phone call from Diddy like at 2 a.m. saying, I'm at the hotel. And he's like, yeah, well, who there? Like, pull up his.
Of course, the internet has been quick to share its opinions. Social media is full of theories, some of which are pretty wild. People are wondering, does Oprah know about Diddy's alleged activities? Is she involved in something much worse than we think? Or is this just another smear campaign? We're all watching, trying to make sense of it all. But one thing's clear. In today's world, where information spreads instantly and everything is under scrutiny, the truth won't stay hidden for long.
Real or not?
Well, now with the information age, the reality is a lot of times the truth is a short Google search away.
Mm-hmm.
It is that simple. Just don't take. And then the thing about it, don't get me wrong. Now you can Google search and then stuff can pop up that's still not necessarily be the truth. So what I typically do is I look at the first 1 or 2 stories if it's opinion based type thing, and then what I'll do is I'll scroll to like the second page of the results, because then you start to find out stuff what you have read in the first, and then you kind of read between the lines and truly be have a discerning eye to what you read. And then between all of the information, a lot of times you can get to the truth for real. You just got to be, and then you got to know the difference between somebody's blog page. You Google something, and then the answer pops up, and it's somebody's blog. Well, that's still somebody else's opinion. Where's this person getting their information from? So you got to nail it down and get to a reputable information source, and then compile your answer. That's kind of how I do it right there.
Right.
And reputable ain't necessarily always news outlets, because news outlets get stuff wrong sometimes too. So, I think that's the best way. A lot of times people just don't do their due diligence though.
And I think that's the thing, taking the time. Go ahead, Steve.
It all boils down to, in this day and time, people are just lazy. When it comes, they don't want to do the research. They don't want to do the research, and it gets a lot of people in trouble. And that's why, and I'm gonna go here too. That's why so many problems in the church. They just take what the pastor says, and they don't look up the scripture and just look it up for themselves. So it's a lot of that going on, man. And then is another factor. News, like you said, news sources aren't always right, because now in this day and time, it's not important for them to be right. It's now important for them to be the first to report it. Then they'll recant later on. But I'm gonna say this: if you hear anything about me out here, 9 times out of 10, it's true.
I think.
Wait a minute, whoa!
The picture you booed up with Eric Carter, them real.
That was a headlock, bro. That was a headlock.
That's what he said. It was a headlock. That's what he said.
I tell you, every time, Steve, I don't know, I'm gonna have to find something. Now that you're like away from me, I'm gonna have to look something to buzz you or something when I can tell you starting to go offline. But no, I do appreciate, I think both of you bring up great points. Even watching this guy that brings up Oprah Winfrey, just like even paying attention to what he's saying.
It's important to take a step back and realize this story is bigger than just Oprah or Diddy. It's about the deeper issues of power, privilege, and secrecy that have been hiding behind Hollywood's glamorous image for years. There's a reason why some of these powerful figures seem to avoid facing consequences for their actions. The problem is much larger than just a few people.
Someone put a bounty on you?
Yeah, that's been a recurring theme. Got one right now too, matter of fact.
Damn, what's the going rate right now?
Well, I'll send you a video.
Damn, okay, shit.
In this situation, they have 50 on me.
Oh shit.
I'm like, damn.
50 ball. Yeah, damn, that's a nigga. What?
They have 50 on me. They have 50 on me, bro.
And if you don't mind, while you put it up, can you speak on why? I mean, I know you about to send it, but for what reason? Is it something you said, something you done, a female you protected? Maybe it went too far.
Right. So like I had referenced earlier, like my main business model is protecting females who got the proper resources. So these guys had hold on, trying to get interested. Oh, okay, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. All right, Joker, coming to you right now. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what you did to a young man.
Yeah. So that's when I had 50 on me. Yeah, I had to shoot through the door. And like the dude who said call 911, he got hit in the neck, hit an artery, shot blood all through the ceiling on the porch, everywhere. Oh, let me get it right, my bad.
This is a system of complicity that has allowed some of the worst behaviors to continue without consequence, simply because those involved were considered too important to fail. With their wealth, influence, and power, they've been able to make problems disappear. But now things are changing. These stories are finally coming out, and more people are starting to question the system that let this go on for so long. The cracks are appearing, and the truth is slowly surfacing.
So it's kind of hard to fake CCTV footage, simply because it's time stamped and the pixels in that camera, any AI footage, the pixels is way higher than a normal camera.
For sure.
So, you got to take that into consideration.
I think I'm gonna Google everyone who has a $200 million yacht, and we gonna line this. We gonna get close.
It's hundreds of guys who got.
Okay.
Bro,
Yeah. Okay.
Rook, didn't you say you wanted a yacht?
Yeah. 200 million. 200 million.
I'm scared to get money now.
It's getting scary.
It's not the money that changes people, because if you a man who get money, you know that this money is a tool.
Right.
It's not your identity. And like, I'm sure there are things that you wouldn't do for money.
Right.
So it's not the money that changes people.
Rook always told me money only amplifies who you really are.
Yeah, you don't really know who you are until you get some money.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Let you have anything in the world that you want. I'm gonna tell you what.
Now, Diddy was, he had sued the liquor company. I forget the name. It was a hard name for me to pronounce, but he pretty much won the lawsuit. But it was explained that in these lawsuits there's a morality clause. Do you think that his battle against this liquor company could have been what set this off actually, or was this only inevitable?
Well, you gotta look at it. We all thought he owned Ciroc.
For sure.
These aren't just random opinions. These are people who have been inside the industry and seen the cracks for themselves. They've raised alarms about Oprah's alleged ties to figures like Weinstein, and now, with the Diddy investigation gaining momentum, the pressure on her is mounting. The spotlight is more intense than ever, and the questions are impossible to ignore.
Group of guys pretty much ran a train on a girl. She was passed out, underage, and we at the spot, and somebody come busting through the door. It's a female. She's like, "Where Big Homie at?" I'm in the back on the couch, sleep. I hear her calling for me. I'm like, "What's up?" She said, "Look at this." So she threw me these purple sweatpants. I'll never forget this. And I'm like, "What am I looking at?" So immediately on the outside of the pants, I see like some like dry white substance. And then like inside the pants, I seen a lot of dry blood. I'm like, these are like some little girl pants. What's going on? They did this to my daughter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They bragging about it, making posts on Facebook, calling my daughter a hoe. She an honor roll student. She went over there with her friend, et cetera, et cetera. And she came with a bag of money, bro. Like, she came with a bag of money, bro. Like, and she wanted retribution for this. She called law enforcement and stuff like that. You feel me? I guess they wasn't working fast enough for her. And so we had took action into our own hands. I kind of regret doing this, but then I don't, because like that little lady thanks me every day. You know what I'm saying? Her daughter, I became like a mentor to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it was just a bad circumstance, which just led to more darkness. You feel me? Because like, I didn't know that like they could come up with that much money to put it on me. I didn't know that. So after we found out what was going on, like people came through spinning, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like really trying to get up with me. And like, shout out to the Goulers, shout out to the Google gang, phone now, shout out to them insane. So yeah, but the guys rallied behind me, bro, and like, yeah, we defeated them. Yeah. Oh, bro, we had some bloody days though, you know what I'm saying? But we ended up coming out on top. They was bogus though. And Fred, you a hoe. Phone now.
Yeah, Fred. Yeah. When you have a price on your head, how do you operate in that space? Like,
it's time to turn up. That's what we live for. Let's get it. You call a guy, let them know what's going on, and then now it's time to play ball. What's up? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you if you really in the field, if you really.
Oprah's silence on these serious accusations only fuels the speculation. When you've built your career as a champion of truth, staying quiet in the face of such explosive claims doesn't exactly help your image. Is she holding back because she has something to hide, or is she just trying to avoid the media storm? Either way, it's clear that her reputation might take a hit. And with the FBI tightening its investigation into Diddy, Oprah's connections to him are now under even more scrutiny.
Invited to this swanky $3 million bash. You know, Diddy throws the best parties in Hollywood, so when you get an invite from him, it's like a golden ticket. And of course, Denzel did what any celeb would. He showed up. Denzel showed up at Diddy's party all smiles, but something must have gone down because he wasn't looking too happy when he left. Makes you wonder what he saw or what happened at the party to change his mood like that. Denzel bolted from the party, not even bothering to fake interest in the after party. Caught by the paparazzi outside, his face screamed disgust. Those photos and videos of him leaving, they went viral, sparking all sorts of rumors. Everyone's guessing something wild must have happened there, and Denzel was definitely not cool with it. So, Denzel, who hasn't been seen at any of Diddy's wild parties since that day, and hasn't spilled the beans about what he saw, might finally be ready to spill the tea on Diddy. It seems Diddy might have managed to hush up everyone else who tried to come forward, but doing the same with Denzel, that's a whole different story. Denzel is just at the point where he's sending warnings to Diddy, but some other celebs have really stepped it up, not worrying about the fallout, calling him out whenever they can. They're not holding back about his iffy business moves or the stuff he's mixed up in. Take Mace, for example. He was part of Diddy's crew and they were pretty close. But in 2019, he blew the whistle on Diddy over Instagram, saying how unfair Diddy was in his business deals. Mace recently took to Instagram to call out some past business practices. He suggested that artists were not fairly compensated, pointing out how they contributed to the success and iconic status of the Bad Boy label, which even led to an award. It's a reminder of the complex dynamics behind the music scene. Mace's post sparked significant controversy on social media, yet Diddy remained unfazed. He had never formed a close bond with Mace and consistently showcased his wealth, demonstrating that he was unstoppable. So, there's this ex-Bad Boy Records rapper Mark Curry, who's also been in the trenches with Diddy and apparently saw some pretty rough stuff back in the day. Curry went ahead and spilled all the tea in a book he dropped in 2009 called Dancing with the Devil. In it, he basically calls Diddy the devil, saying he's this businessman who took advantage of his team, just like Mace said. It turns out Curry saw some pretty shady stuff from Diddy, not just in business. He shared this story about a time Diddy got into a fight with his ex, Kim Porter, on a yacht and actually broke her nose. And there's more. Diddy supposedly hit a producer because he caught them chatting with Porter on a phone line he had tapped. But wait, it doesn't stop there. Recently, DaBaby came out with his own bad experience with Diddy. DaBaby spilled some tea about Diddy, saying there was some weird stuff going on. He was like, I made it through one of Diddy's wild parties back in 2020.
Now let's dive into the public reaction, because that's where things really get interesting. The quiet doubts have turned into loud questions. Fans who once looked up to Oprah are now rethinking everything they thought they knew about her. People who admired her for her dedication to justice are starting to wonder if she's been playing a different game all along. There's a growing sense that there's much more to this story than what we're being told. The plot thickens and the public's trust in her is hanging by a thread.
Do you think it's true when people say, oh, Diddy will never be fully exposed because there's too many huge names involved in the mix?
Oh, I agree.
Mm.
That don't matter. We get enough of them.
Will he make it out alive, Jack?
There's a young woman by the name of Andrea right now doing interviews, suggesting that she was tipped off by someone with inside the feds who said they saw her on some of the evidence seized. Was involved somehow. Do I know if that's true or not? I do not know. But I tell you what I do know. If they try to attach Trump to any of this freak-out foolishness, they all as good as dead anyway.
Jack, it's you almost was like almost. I don't know how you know this stuff, but you be knowing the future. You just like know everything. Where does this Diddy trial go? Like, what happens? Can you tell us what you think?
It's a RICO. And all those freak-off attendees who endorsed Kamala Harris have now become clear enemies of the Trump administration. Ain't nobody getting no part in it. Diddy about to get some company. And with Trump's new agenda to shut down government funded trans, now that he's shutting all that down and reinstilling, going back to just the recognition of two genders, a lot of the people that was endorsing Kamala are going to have a problem with it.
Of course, the public's reaction is divided. People are taking sides. Some still defend Oprah, arguing she's been unfairly targeted, while others believe she's been turning a blind eye to serious issues. The internet is fueling the drama, and with each new revelation, the controversy only deepens. Opinions are clashing more than ever, creating a media frenzy where everyone has their own theory about what's really happening.
Do you feel like the federal government has a strong case when it comes to the criminal matter of what's going on outside of the freaky nature?
Yeah, by all means, man. I mean, most people are definitely afraid to even walk into a federal courthouse.
Yes. Big boys.
Jurors are afraid. Everybody's in awe. So that's advantage federal government, right? The evidence and the public perception that they currently have is strong as well. And I'm going to go ahead and correct myself. Cassie was beaten because I got.
There was Cassandra. I don't know what you called her. What'd you say?
I'm not saying that again. I'm not saying that again. So to the 2 or 3 people who corrected me on the name, I left it alone. I apologize.
They picky, boy.
Hey, you know what? But you know what? Call me out.
Yeah.
If you see something and I see it, if I'm wrong, if I see it, I'll chime in. Or if I feel like I'm not wrong, I'll chime in and explain why I said what I said. So I have no problem communicating with your viewers.
Yeah. So yes, no, as you stated, Cassie, the 1,000 bottles of baby oil, which is not illegal. Again, it's not illegal. But
is it not?
Man, listen.
Is it not?
Is
it flammable?
It's flammable.
No, I'm just asking.
Physically or metaphysically? Like, what are we talking about? Because it can go both ways.
I don't want to know about the metaphysical part of it. But no, I mean, that much of anything, quite honestly, if it could be used to make a bomb, chances are you're not supposed to have that.
Easy defense. Hey, we like having oil parties, bathtubs full of oil and slip and slide.
Is it a fix?
To me, that's an easy.
Is it easy fix?
Yeah, I mean,
don't say
move
that.
on to the next question.
Don't say that. Don't say
no,
that.
It's like we literally have baby oil wrestling nights.
You know why you don't want
to? Is that illegal?
It's illegal in the context of how Sean Combs uses it. So you don't want to say that.
Okay. So
if Sean Combs, if you see this, Joker should not be your attorney.
Yeah. That's why I did not pass the bar.
Because statements like that are gonna get you sent straight. They're gonna be like, we don't even need a jury. Just
listen.
This is your cell right here. This is your cell. You don't want to say that.
But he has to explain that. His lawyer has to explain it.
Well, and watch this, man.
This is a story you won't want to miss. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. We'll be following every twist and turn closely. Who knows what's next? Stay tuned as this story continues to unfold.